Oh no, a Nazi patrol. Let's use our stealth to get close and pretend we're one of them. Don't worry, Nazis, I'm just one of you. Oh no, I've been seen. I better fight him. Oh, good thing I pressed Z. Wait, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Wow, good thing he's a horrible shooter. He shot at me 8 times. No wonder they lost the war. Ladies and gentlemen, I am SocioPsycho, and today I bring you Enemy Front. This is a game created by CL Games for PC. Many of you may be curious about this game, and if you are, like myself, a PC exclusive player, as this channel I have is for PC games only, you may be interested in knowing that this game runs at a fine, crisp, nice 24 frames per second. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, 24 frames per second. I won't blame you if that is all you need to know to make your decision upon getting this game or not, and I bid you farewell. For everybody else who may be interested in more ideas and concepts and information about the game, well, hold on, ladies and gentlemen, because it only gets better. Sarcastically, he says. So, what is this game? Well, I'm glad you asked, because it's a first-person shooter in World War II era style. You play against the Nazis in liberation and trying to save the day. When we go into options here, it is split up into different categories. Whether you like that or not, it's up to you. Game, you have HUD adjustment and subtitles, not much in there. Audio is actually quite nice. Music effects and dialogue split into different categories, and the music of this game is pretty nice, although it doesn't really play too much in the actual game, as all you really hear is just the sound effects of combat, which are not anything really impressive and annoying, but we'll get into that. I don't want to get sidetracked. Let's move on. Now, video options. This is interesting because they do have a wide berth of resolutional options as well as game options in graphic fidelity. When we go into advanced, we'll see more of that. And as you can see here, there's a lot of options available, but the way they implemented, and especially when you have it at 24 frames per second, I mean, come on, you have high fidelity graphical options, but you're gonna limit yourself to 24 frames per second? What the fuck is wrong with you? And then you have controls. Your controls are split up: controller, keyboard, and mouse. There's not really all that much in a mouse, and all the keyboard key bindings have been easily rebindable with no issue. When we go into single player game, you have an option between 2 campaigns. The main game tells you a story from a journalistic point of view, but the journalist is actually a soldier as well, / resistance fighter. And then you have this one, Saint Nazaire, which is more of a commando style mission. This game fancies itself as a first-person shooter with stealth elements added into it, and there's just so much that is wrong with that statement based on how the game actually works, and we'll go into that. I will show you why I feel the way I do, because a game like this, I have 2 options bringing you a game like this. I can either be really depressed and be like, oh, this game is so bad, or I can actually tell you the truth and do it in a commanding way because I'm pissed off that something like this is deemed acceptable by some people, enough to a point where they feel it's acceptable to even ask money for. Is the game concept good? Is the work effort there? Does it follow through? No. If you don't get all your aspects right in a game, and you need all your aspects right in a game, you will not get my sympathy. I will not sit here and play your game and be like, oh, you got half of the things you needed to work correctly some of the time, and the other half, well, who cares? No. You either get it all right, and you put it together, and you tell a story, or you don't even bother. And in this situation, perhaps you shouldn't even bothered. And yes, maybe I'm being rough, maybe I'm being mean, but you know what? This is unacceptable. So we also have a multiplayer option. I think they should have scrapped multiplayer option altogether and actually just focused severely on the single player game, therefore enhancing the game much more. Why do I say that? Well, yes, you have server browsers, but joining them has been a real pain in the butt in my experience. You may not suffer this issue, and if you don't, then congratulations. While I do have different modes of play, servers selected, and getting into a game has been difficult for me. And when I do, a game actually crashes. There have been many issues and reports about people crashing and not being able to get through the game. I have suffered some of this. Now, there are also leaders leaderboards, and the leaderboards are broken up into different ways. Yes, the leaderboards are nice. Congratulations for having that. But what good does it do if your game isn't fun to even play? This goes back into if you can't get everything right and you need to have everything right to have your game even manageable, don't put so much into it. Downsize your vision and your scale rather than stretch yourself too thin. So let me give you a quote. This is why I'm annoyed at this game. So here is the quote from the store page on Steam. Enemy Front is the first truly modern World War II FPS featuring stunning visuals, open-ended levels, and a richly interactive combat experience that breaks out of the standard model of high linear scripted FPS experiences, giving the player full freedom to own their playing style. That is one hell of a catchphrase, now wouldn't you agree? That's something that will grab your attention. I'm a reviewer. I said yes. I will take the risk and spend $24 to review this game, but this is why I'm annoyed at it. It says this nice little piece of salesmanship to you, and it's nothing but bullshit. It is a complete fallacy, and I do not take kindly to being lied to, and even more to feeling as if I've been cheated, and I will not stand by and just let that happen to other people. So this is why I bring you this game in this demeanor, ladies and gentlemen, because it annoys me, yes, but it would annoy me even more if people like you watching got screwed over by this. So let us talk about something that is simplistic, such as the graphics. Now you would think with such a large option in the options menu that they would have actually decent graphics, but when you lock it to 24 frames per second, whenever you move or wander, it makes you look like you're on a boat. It's very easy to get motion sickness just from the poor quality of moving, on top of the fact that it severely feels like there's some serious mouse acceleration going on here. Not to mention when you add in the clipping, when you go up against a wall, it's very easy to end up seeing the world or through the wall, and enemies fall through just about anything. Many times I've run up to an enemy shooting and I've actually walked right through them. Now yes, some enemies do actually have solidness to them. But even when you're talking to your allies or you see other characters in the game and they have, every time they move, their facial expressions, their attitude, their hand gestures, it all ends up being blurry and double-faced because it can't keep up with what the coding of the game is because it's so poorly done. It does not make me want to play even more. The game ends up looking something like a 2002 title that was littered with bugs and pushed out the door as the company was going bankrupt. Graphically, there is nothing redeeming about this game. The game is not that impressive looking for it to merit alone any fidelity. The lighting effects are very cheap, they do not have good quality, and the continuation of blurriness does not promote somebody to want to play anymore. And you know, as a reviewer, there is a limit to how much I can show you, and there's a certain point where you have to just take it on a good basis for yourself. Now, sometimes I can show you exactly what I'm talking about on every single frame, second for second, and other times it's not really overly apparent until you play 2 minutes into the game and you're like, wow, what the hell is this? I should have listened. But you know what? Maybe I'm being too hard on the game, and let's talk about audio. When it does work, yeah, it's decent, I suppose. It's not horrible. Some of the writing is definitely atrocious. The writing in the game is just like, really? Are you serious? This is a joke. The story-based dialogue is just laughable, but the sound of it, the quality of the audio is alright when it works, which in my experience has only been a few times. Let me give you a joyful experience upon what the sound sounds like majority of the times.
Told me how a famous man of words became such a passionate resistance fighter.
Been a bit busy lately.
Yes, but I want to know these things to understand.
I was in occupied France. It was June 24th.
Alright, so I hope you enjoyed that little taste of the audio, because that's what you have to look forward to if you get the game. But let's skip ahead, you know, let's not be so harsh and blown. Let's actually talk about the combat, and how the combat is. Because it's going to be important seeing how vast the majority of your stuff. And it's twofold. Yes, some of the weapons actually do feel nice, and some of the weapons actually do have a satisfying punch to them but ironically only because the enemies die so easily and are so stupid that it's not difficult to kill them. They basically line up like ducks for you, and you can just take them out. It's not hard at all. The AI in the game is a joke. It's a laughing stock. You go into a courtyard, you shoot your pistol into the air, you fall back around a corner, and you wait. One by one, they will walk like ducks through the front door, and you just pop them off. You kill one, you wait, another one comes right through the door. They don't use the tactics, they don't use advancement, they don't try to circle around you, they don't flank you, they will not even get in cover that's actually full cover, and if they are in cover and the guy next to him is taken out, they don't realize, hey, my position's been compromised, I better move. No. The damage is a joke, the threat meter is a joke, the fact that if you look at the minimap, and the minimap has more detail than the actual map that they give you in the game, and you can see where every single enemy is on the minimap, there is no threat to the enemy. You have constant control of the battlefield. You know exactly where everybody is, you know their alert status, you know when they're going to move around a corner, and you know that they're dumb enough to just continue to move around the corners. The game is not challenging at all. And if that is not bad enough, on top of it, the fact that their aim is so ridiculously stupid that they can be standing right in front of you and shooting you, and they'll miss, or you won't die. It literally takes 4 or 5 of them to be shooting you point blank range for you to actually die. The game is not exciting. Yes, it has a stealth element. Ooh, look at me, we have stealth element. We don't have shadows, and if you're in a bush, you won't get like some hidden defense bonus where they have to find you or screw you around to try to get you. No, as soon as you shoot from one location, they know exactly where you are. They are coming to you, or they're gonna sit there where they are, and you just wait. It's not difficult at all to get around the AI. It is so bad. I have been running up through hordes of enemies, and by running, I actually mean walking, because the default I have the game on is walk instead of run, and I just walk through a horde of 6 to 10 guys, killing them, and I don't even die. This is just pathetic. I don't care if I was playing on easy, which I wasn't, but even if I was, that would be ridiculously stupid for me to be able to actually do. The fact that there takes no difficulty in the game because the AI is so brain dead, and I know exactly where they are every single time. It doesn't matter how satisfying any of the guns feel, and while none of the guns actually have any decent recoil, but some of them do feel slick, some of them do feel nice, and some of them do sound nice, such as the Thompson. The game severely lacks in gratifying you the satisfaction and completion of a battle by making the enemy so weak. Yay, look at me, I have this awesome gun, I can shoot people, I'm terrifically awesome. Oh wait, instead of actually fighting in a war zone, which I'm supposed to be doing, it feels like I'm duck hunting. This is ridiculous. This is not a game about survival. This is a game about picking off a few Germans now and again, and when we integrate how the level design is in this actual game, they say, oh, not a linear FPS. This is a modern game. Linearness comes from poor level design. So let me explain this to you and everybody else listening right now. Linear level design comes from getting from point A, where you start, to point B with only one route. To fix that issue, well, you would need to do this. By multiple routes. Now, some of these routes may intersect, but these routes are not directly next to each other. These roads to get to your point can be separate and need to be separate. That is what level design is. Can I take the stairs or do I take the elevator? They both connect, they both get me to where I need to go, and I'm not forced to go through the other one to get where I need to. This game does not do that. This game thinks that the option of linear comes down to the, hey, go into this barn, though there's only one way out, but there's this upstairs, but you can't get out any of the windows either. And there's a field behind the barn, but you can't get over a fence, you can't go across. So here's a town, here's a big open space, here's a courtyard, here's a building in this courtyard, but you cannot skirt around the map. You cannot flank your enemies. You cannot actually use the map in a way that would make it non-linear. Is it less linear than go down the corridor and shoot 5 enemies, open up into a big room, shoot 10 enemies, go down another corridor? Yes, of course it is, because they have bigger rooms. Instead of being a box, it's a small village. But guess what? The shape the village is in is a square. The corners of the town are so limited, and the way the road is actually in through the towns, or the way it leads you through your battlefield, is so linear that it doesn't even give you the option to skirt around. And you say, okay, well, you know what? Maybe if you're really careful and you time things out, you can get down, you can get in, you can get whatnot. It's like, all right, that's great. You know what? Yes. Now and again, if you want to play a sneak style, there's enough room to sneak by here and there. But guess what? You're going to be fighting enemies now and again. And what's the point of sneaking around when all you have to do is shoot one enemy, fall back around a corner, and just wait for him to come right through the door? Sneaking is meaningless if when you get caught, there's no consequence. If your enemy will kill you in one shot, so it's vital for you to sneak and not be seen, that's a lot more important to you than, oh, well, if he does see me, I'll just kill him and everybody else in the barracks, and oh well. The style of the map does not complement anything in the game. Instead of it making it feel like an open source village, like, wow, I'm here in the woods and there's a village there, and what am I going to do? Oh, I'll skirt around the outside of the woods to get to the other side of the village. No, it's, I'm in a village, I can't get out of a village, I need to get to the other side of a village, and there's Nazis in between me and that side. Oh, I want to stealth. So there's only one path I can take around the side, which will make me get there unstealthed. That is not freedom of linear. You are taking away my choice. And the fact that you actually think that choice is making a decision to either go left or go right, which both end up in the center, that's not choice. Telling me if I go left and blow through a wall versus right, which is go up some stairs and they both lead me directly into the same room, is not choice. That is another design of linearness. And you say, well, wait, you just said a second ago that two paths that don't take a certain direction and touch to get to one area. Yes, but we're not talking about level design right now. We're talking about choice. And if your choice in the game in between how to execute your mission is either go left or go right, and in 5 feet of either one of those directions, you're back in where you would be if you took the other way, that's not choice. Is that very hint, small, good level design in a tiny, tiny way? Yes, I will give you that. Do they implement that on a larger scale in every mission? No. Do they implement it in any mission on any scale that I have seen during my tolerable gameplay? No. But don't fret, because you have the option to take hostages. Yes, this is a nice mechanic in the game. You can take a hostage, you can kill that hostage with your knife at any time you want to, and still have your pistol available to shoot away. The only issue with that is the fact that the enemies will, one, open fire on you almost immediately, but they don't even kill the guy that you're holding as a hostage. So their bullets that they're shooting at you magically go through him and hit you. You'll die and he'll run away. And you think, well, maybe there's some fun in scavenging and getting ammo off of corpses and going through and picking up different weapons. Your weapon choice is very limited. You have a pistol, you have a machine gun. You can get a sniper's rifle. It's not all that impressive. You don't have a scope. It's just iron sights. And when you go to an enemy body, all you can do is switch weapons. There's no loot, there's no armor, there's no health kits, there's nothing of that. Nothing whatsoever. But there are boxes. There are boxes of ammo laying about, strategically placed in different areas. Why? Because the game is linear, and it doesn't want to actually have to worry about rendering one more issue because it can barely do what it has in its level as far as keeping accountability of the different ammo drops. So it just piles it all into one area. Kill, 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 get to a box, reload, kill, 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 get to a box. There is no need for worrying about ammo consumption or ammo count. You can just blast your way through blindsided with the difficulty of the enemy, your stupidity of the AI, and how you're always in favor in the level design. Even if you're like, oh, I'm bogged down, just run towards them, and there's a good chance you'll survive. And then after that, you'll find ammo. It's a joke. This game says that it is something that is amazing for a new age FPS, but it's actually a joke. You don't have a health kit, you don't have a health bar, you have the red screen. Oh, my screen's getting redder and redder and redder. Am I dead yet? Nope. Wait. Yes. Okay, I finally died. Wow, that was fascinatingly fun in my survival tactics. But wait, doesn't this game have stealth? But it doesn't really have a cover system. I mean, yes, you can hide behind cover and whatnot. Yeah, that's great. But it doesn't have a sort of, well, I'm in the shadows, I'm in the bushes, I'm in camouflage. I'm sniping. No, it doesn't have any of that. The stealth aspect is pretty much you running up directly behind an enemy, full blast, on gravel, just run right to him. You could be screaming, you could be yelling your war cry, running right up to him, and he won't even notice. And then he'll turn around because he can feel the wind of your breath and be like, oh, I visually see you, so now I'm going to be alerted. It's a joke. This game is not worth your money, ladies and gentlemen, and I am sorry if I have offended you and your sensitivity in the way I have talked about this game. But you know what? I don't care in truth, because this game is what's wrong with a lot of FPSs nowadays, and to accept this is even worse. We need to accept and expect better, not less. So everybody, thank you for listening, for I have been SocioPsycho, and I hope to see you next time.